Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Scorpio January 10, 2023. You approach problems from a different angle today, as the Sun and retrograde Mercury align in your work and health sector. It's a helpful process. You see some of the details of your life that you previously missed. Gaining meaningful insight into a work, chore, or health issue can figure strongly. Ideas born now can have great significance later. You are the go-to person for help or information, and you enjoy this role today. It's better to think about what you can do to improve and tweak current projects and ideas than to start all new ones, but your thinking in this regard is creative. The moon moves into your sign later today, and it can feel like an emotional awakening. Also in your relationship, changes are coming up. The roles in your partnership could change, or an outside force could be the reason for some turbulences. Since you currently aren't disposed to an inner balance, you should pay attention that you don't overreact to surprises in your life. You should focus on what you have and what you want, and then approach it all with an inner calmness. Be prepared for some issues to arise at work today. Try to be clear, concise, and thorough when working through any problems that may arise when the Sun in Capricorn conjuncts Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. Expect the boat to be rocked during the conjunction, since it may disrupt the usual flow. Your schedule might be thrown out of whack, important details could go missing, and technology could be unreliable. Although you might feel a lack of control over these issues, it would be best to take it in stride. Meet each challenge head-on and keep your cool. Before leaving an intuitive and imaginative part of your chart and wrapping up past full moon, the moon will spend its final hours at a friendly aspect to both Neptune and the asteroid Juno in your financial sector. This is Juno, the queen of commitments, last weekend in your financial sector, with the moon able to fuel your financial confidence, instincts, and imagination, and a sense of resolve when it comes to your financial dreams and resolutions for this new financial year. The sensitive side of your nature desires what's best for those you love. There is a deep feeling of "I would die for you" running through you with regard to your loved ones and your children. This intense emotion can be channeled into a more productive vein, caring for your body as though it were a loved one. Taking care of all its needs can be quite satisfying. This is ultimately nurturing for everyone. Your life certainly does depend on your body. You will find that certain areas of your life have taken on a tone that is more serious than usual. However, that is to be expected with this day. Utilize your time to complete some of the more intricate tasks that you have been putting aside. Later on, you may wish to engage in some quiet activities that may or may not involve some close friends. If you enjoy writing in your journal, this is a perfect time to do so. Just as they are coming out from under the pressure that past full moon put on both, the Sun and Mercury align in your work sector today. With the Sun just coming out of a friendly aspect to Uranus in your career sector, but Mercury not only moving into the same aspect but with both in retrograde motion, this is turning any pressure from the full moon into motivation, and especially the motivation to work smarter. Meanwhile, Venus and Mars are brewing up something special when it comes to friendship and relationship building. Venus has only been in your relationship sector for 7 days, but even in just her first weekend here, a lot of water has already passed under the bridge. A friendly aspect to the dwarf planet Ceres in your communication sector yesterday and to the moon before that has not only boosted your confidence but is helping to get the communication lines open. Our eyes in the sky. Mercury retrograde in Capricorn and Uranus retrograde in Taurus unite today. Contrary to popular belief, this planetary connection can bring clarity to matters and allow us to see situations from a different perspective. The world seems larger, clearer, and lovelier when we look at it from a million miles away with no judgment. If you have news to share, now is the time to express yourself. You will be heard and seen by those you love. You may feel unusually cross or ill-tempered during this time. Emotions loom large and seem practically unmanageable. Your body seems to have a mind of its own. Cravings may feel too strong to push aside. This is perfectly natural. One useful herbal remedy for this feeling is chamomile tea. Chamomile is known as the baby remedy, for it soothes a cranky baby and restores balance after a fever. You may drink the tea or actually put tea bags in your bath. While a friendly aspect between Venus in your career sector and Mars in your income sector won't peak until tomorrow, they are already in harmony and at an important time for both. Venus is forging a path for the Sun to follow when he returns in 10 days, and that includes connecting all the dots across the income, work, and career fronts. With Mars slowing ahead of his direct turn in 4 days, as the planet of money, Venus is the perfect planet to exploit both untapped income potential and to prepare for the turnaround ahead. While the Moon is still 2 days away from its first visit to your romantic sector for the year, as it will then go on to make its first visit to your relationship sector for the year just a few days later, there are some important days coming up on both fronts. This makes today's clash between the Moon and Venus today and any work and life balance issues this might expose the right reminder at the right time. After sunup, the Leo Moon opposes Venus in Aquarius, stimulating insecurity. We feel distant from others, even if we are in a room full of people. Failing to achieve the validation we desire can cause us to showboat for attention. Naturally, this only further damages our self-confidence. The real issue now is not that others do not value us, it's that we do not value ourselves. Take the energy you would put into people-pleasing and invest it instead in the creative pursuits that bring you joy. If we make our own happiness, people will flock to us in order to be a part of it. Before noon, the Moon sextiles retrograde Mars in Gemini, helping us to cooperate with others. If we've chosen a creative pursuit to busy ourselves with during the Moon-Venus opposition, this influence will help us to sink into our passion project and achieve success in this venture. However, this aspect is not just about achieving accolades. It is about the internal gratification we attain for doing something that has merit to us. It is about being brave enough to see our efforts through despite the odds. The Moon's first visit to a fun, playful, romantic and creatively charged part of your chart for the year is both some light relief after the heaviness that the full moon of the last few days brought and a chance to put its work-life balance reminders into practice. This was a full moon that will always fall at some point during the Sun's month-long visit to your career sector, and it came when this new professional year was already getting off to a good start. Following on from that, today's playful lunar vibes are another reminder that life can't be all work and no play. The Moon's first visit to your romantic sector for the year has already got off to a good start thanks to its friendly aspect to Jupiter in Aries yesterday. The Moon will also form the same aspect to the asteroid Eris, just as the warrior princess of the cosmos has come to a standstill in her final days in retrograde motion. This is highlighting the new and old doors that are open.